Thanks, Jeff and AM. Hey everybody, I'm Muneer. I'm the General Manager of End User Computing here in AWS. And I couldn't have two better BFFs, now my new BFFs, introduce what we're talking about today. Huge amount of change, huge amount of innovation. We're so excited to bring it to you. As they mentioned, we've got a ton of sessions, 9 more sessions after this here ready to teach you all kinds of new ways that customers have been working through end user computing services here at AWS for years. Plus some new tips and tricks that you're going to learn along the way and some new techniques that we want to share with you to make sure that you get a good aspect of all the things that we cover. And as they mentioned, we covered a lot. We absolutely cover gaming, we cover so much more, and we're going to focus on our end user desktops for the rest of today. Let me take a few minutes first to just talk a little bit about what gets me motivated, what gets me out of bed every day, and a little bit about who we are. You know, the thing that gets me super excited, the thing that gets me really going is the opportunity to work on a global scale problem. Like, this is epic. It's massive. There's all kinds of new and different ways that customers are asking to use end user computing services here at AWS. They talk to me about it all the time. Whether you're thinking about moving to SaaS, or whether you're thinking about how to cut costs, whether you're thinking about security, all of these things encompass a number of different use cases and a number of different users. And we're so humbled, we're so flattered that we get a chance to work with every single one of them. And we get to partner directly with customers on a daily basis to figure out how to make that happen. And when I zoom out, one of the things that I would say I talk about the most with customers is constraints. Thousands and thousands of conversations that I've had with customers over the last 7 or 8 years here in AWS have all led to, some form of constraint. Whether it's an office policy, security is top of mind for just about every customer, whether it's cutting costs or artifacts of the pandemic. One of the things that people have been saying to me a lot recently is about supply chain issues impacting the way they go about doing business. So how does that impact you? Well, a lot of peers in the industry have been telling us, hey, I can't get laptops to my end users fast enough. And so VDI has seen a huge amount of accelerated adoption over the last several years, and we're very flattered. One of the things that we have to think really critically about as customers, work with us on massive scale problems, as we work through a lot of different use cases, and of course, as we help deal with all of these constraints, is putting it all together. We need to make sure that we stay grounded in something, and the things that we stay grounded in, the things that we talk about every single day in the end user computing team here in AWS are flexibility, choice, and customer experience. And we talk a lot about how Amazon is a customer-obsessed company, and we absolutely are. And these specifically are the 3 things that we focus on when we focus on customer obsession. And of course, we take our inspiration from our colleagues and our peers in the industry. A year ago, you heard me talk about our collaboration with the Coalition for Fair Software Licenses. They have 9 principles that we believe in, that we espouse, meant to give customers the freedom of choice for any sort of cloud provider. And so what have we done with all of these constraints? What have we done with all of this global scale? What have we done with all the ways that we ground ourselves with our guiding principles and the coalition's principles? Well, as the day suggests, we focus on innovation here in AWS. And so last year at this time, at our first Innovation Day, we talked a lot about a new partnership with multiple different companies, new collaborations with multiple different companies. We introduced our collaboration with Zoom. We introduced our collaboration with VMware. And of course, we introduced our Ubuntu desktops available on our Workspaces services. So what do we think? We think about how we're going to put all these things together, not just with collaborations, but with new innovations. And all of these new innovations have led to new features like our multi-region resilience, and new ways for customers to continue to do the things that they would expect, especially in a desktop environment. With that, we've been super proud to announce on August 1st, 2023, our partnership, our collaboration with Microsoft for allowing customers to do bring your own license for Microsoft 365 applications. Very popular apps like Teams, Word, Excel. These are things that customers have been using for years, and they now get to continue to use those on Amazon Workspaces. And of course, if you have a purpose-built or bespoke solution that you need to buy Office directly from AWS, you can continue to do that in a pay-as-you-go model with our existing Office Professional Plus bundles. These are the kinds of things that customers expect when they get to use and bring their own productivity software. And this wouldn't be an innovation day if we didn't get an opportunity to talk about something brand new. With that in mind, I'm very, very proud to announce, starting today, our collaboration with Citrix, available in Tech Preview. And as AM and Jeff mentioned, we're available on Twitch and we're available on LinkedIn Live for you to ask questions. So we encourage you to check out and ask some questions about how you can get started with Citrix on Amazon Workspaces today. The cool thing about this, it takes advantage of the Amazon Workspaces core. So customers are going to find this super simple to deploy. They're going to continue to reuse the tools that they find very, very familiar. Whether you're an IT admin managing your Citrix environment, you get to use the same tools you've been using forever. Whether you're an end user and you've been logging in with the Citrix client and getting super familiar with that, again, you get to continue to use that as well. So we're stoked to bring you this collaboration. We're really, really looking forward to this partnership and all the great things, and I can't thank my colleagues at Citrix enough for pulling this off. And let's go. Let's get something done with customers. We're really excited to make this work for you. Of course, if you zoom out, you get a chance to take a look at all of the collaborations with Workspaces Core that we've done over the past 12 months. Started with VMware, we launched WorkSpot. We're very excited about our collaborations with LeoStream. And today, again, we've brought Citrix to the table, and we're looking forward to creating so many more partnerships with customers going forward. So what do all these customers get? You know, the key things for us are the types of things that you would expect to get, not just from end user computing and AWS, but AWS just in general. One of the most important things that my team and I talk about, one of the most important things that we feel like creates a ton of value for customers is our 99.9% uptime SLA. It is financially backed too, which means if we don't honor that 99.9% uptime SLA, we will give you your money back. And we mean it. Now, that's not a position that we want to be in, so we obsess about availability. We obsess over agility, that ability to scale up and scale down. We offer tools like the AWS Cost Optimizer, which allows customers to manage their fleet and allows customers to turn the lights off if they're not actually using the workspaces that they think that they have deployed. These are really, really critical things that customers tell us about that matter the most to them, not just for managing their VDI environment, but more importantly for managing their bottom line. And of course, you come to expect with AWS and with end user computing that we are going to be a place that obsesses entirely about Citrix, about security. In addition to Citrix, this is a place we get to obsess about Citrix now from today forward as well. But security is always top of mind for us. And making sure that this is the simplest and easiest set of APIs for people to use to start scaling up or scale down is aimed at saving you money. Then of course, when you get a chance to chat with your end user computing specialist, you'll get not just, hey, this is how I put the nuts and bolts together to build something for my end users, but you also get the ideas for how to save money. For instance, if you don't actually need a desktop, why not take a look at our Workspaces web offering? For $7 per user per month, you get the opportunity to spend the entire day in the browser. It's fully managed Chrome, so you're never going to have to worry about deploying new things to your end users ever again, assuming they spend their day in the browser. What does this mean in practical terms? Well, who better than some of our customers to tell you that? One of my favorites, Capital One, one of the largest consumer banks here in the United States. They talk about a 38% savings. Now, for customers like Capital One, who are public companies, who have shareholders, these cost savings matter. These cost savings are things that are going to show up on your bottom line. And I thank my colleague Joshua Hartwig for providing this quote to really emphasize that point. But make no mistake, we're not just a company that's focused on big customers, right? We focus on all sorts of customers. We obsess over customers across the board. One of the ones that we've learned a lot from are digital natives, such as Elevate. right? A consumer direct benefits program with millions of participants in this. It's been fantastic to learn from them. Now, they've adopted our Workspaces web product, and the cool thing about that, as Paul calls out here in this quote, is that, hey, 90% of the time, they spend their day in the browser. So why are they paying for desktops? And so digital native companies such as Elevate, who are doing super critical things like working on consumer benefits, allows them to not only maintain compliance with things like personally identifiable information and the HIPAA Act here in the United States, but it keeps their users productive, both while keeping costs low as well. And this is always the most humbling slide for me. It's the opportunity to shine the light on just some examples of our global customer base. Not only do we have, as I mentioned, some of the largest companies in the world, Fortune 500, Fortune 5 companies, but we learn from digital natives, we have local governments, we have smaller companies, mid-sized companies. We have a solution that fits for everybody, and we're ready to partner with you, with everybody as well. Let's see a little bit about this in action though, right? Like, so what are the things that people are actually doing with AWS? Well, as Jeff and AM mentioned, we've got a few different services, right? One, with our native services, we've got Workspaces, our secure virtual desktop offering. It's available on any supported device at any time. We've got Workspaces Web. Again, why not have a fully managed browser available to you on demand at your fingertips, and you pay for only what you use. And then we've got Amazon AppStream, and with it, we've got our selective persistence model helping customers move more applications towards SaaS and or continue to access a lot of these apps from the browser. These are solving very, very big problems, very real, very today VDI problems for customers. But hey, what if you've got something already and it's really, really hard to migrate away from, and we know, and that's exactly what Workspaces Core is all about. It's the opportunity for customers to use, as I mentioned with Citrix, the existing tooling and the existing clients to take those deployments, whether they're bespoke or things that you've paid for licenses for, and from an economics perspective, it just makes sense to keep going. We make it super simple for you to bring those to us or buy them from us so that you can get that on-prem deployment to the cloud as quickly, as expediently, and the most secure that you could possibly think of getting it. Now, all of this leads to what we call our fully managed solutions. And why do we continue to harp on fully managed? Well, what we've learned is that it matters a lot. It matters so, so much, and not just to the people wearing the VDI hats, whether you're in IT and you're responsible for your existing desktop as a service deployment or your existing SaaS applications. It matters just as much to the infrastructure folks. And so if you're in an organization where you don't wear both of those hats, look at all the things that you get an opportunity to influence, right? Whether it's racking and stacking and securing all of these servers, or whether it's just managing, whether you have to procure more, scale up, scale down, decommission, all of that stuff is stuff that just goes away. It's made simpler by API calls or configuration in the console. And these are the kinds of things that customers tell us over and over and over make their lives so much simpler, so much easier. And what gets really appreciated from folks at AWS is that ultimately we're going to save you money while keeping you productive and secure. So recapping a little bit, right? We love, love, love to talk about flexibility, choice, and customer experience. And we think there's no better way for you to achieve all three of the above with the options that our end user computing groups provide for you, right? On licensing flexibility, as I mentioned, you get to bring your own license for Microsoft 365. That includes Windows 10 or Windows 11. Of course, you can buy Office productivity software from AWS. And we've got a very, very complete desktop operating system offering with Microsoft Windows, both desktop versions and Windows Server versions, with Linux desktops such as Ubuntu and Amazon Linux 2, and hopefully more to add to this list as we go on. All right, today, really, really big day. As I mentioned, 9 more sessions to come throughout the day. We'd love for you to learn more from all of the sessions that we've got. We're covering so much ground and so many more topics. Ask questions. Don't hesitate. definitely either get in touch with your account rep here at AWS, with your end user computing specialist, or ask questions in the chat, whether you're watching on Twitch or LinkedIn Live, or reach out to us, of course. My team would love to be in touch with you to figure out exactly what we can do to help support you and to help you grow with your use case. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This is a ton of fun. We've got a great production crew. We've got a great agenda here for you today. We're looking forward to spending so much more time from you, and I'm personally looking forward to hearing from you after this. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll talk soon.